Listen, empty people are incapable of filling your cup at any capacity. This is why it's so important that you understand self-validation and self-worth, and why I preach it so much on this channel. Because if you are looking for somebody that is completely empty inside to fill your cup, you are setting yourself up for emotional, mental, and even a physical disaster. And I'm going to tell you why I said that. Because an empty person cannot fulfill their own cup. So if you are in the presence of someone that you have discovered is very empty, which 9 out of 10 would be they are emotional, they can be jealous, they are unbalanced. There are multiple signs to what I believe is an empty person. But anyway, when you have discovered that you are in the presence of an empty person, the only thing that person can do is take from you. That is it. Because they are literally incapable of fulfilling their own cup. And that empty person believes if they take from you, that they are going to find whatever is missing inside of them. And all that's going to do is actually drain you. So I know there's a lot of people are in that situation where they cannot leave the environment. They cannot leave the space. I understand that a lot of people are in these temporary situations where they are around somebody that is in lack, that is empty. And this person they are around that is empty, they are honestly very troubled, violent, people that are just completely emotional imbalance. They have emotional imbalance, right? And you might be someone like, I can't leave that situation, so what do I do? Number one, you recognize that their problems have nothing to do with you. And those empty people, a lot of times they're going to be envious and jealous, and they're going to spit narratives that are a lie, right? Because at the end of the day, let me slow down. All they're trying to do is find something to fulfill what is empty and missing inside of them, because they have not learned the skills to validate themselves, to have self-worth. And this is a lesson, again, I have learned firsthand. I used to surround myself around it wasn't so many. Let me not exaggerate. I used to surround myself around particular individuals that I did not know at the time, but I do know now, that are just very empty. They are still empty. And what those individuals used to do was they would create so much turmoil. They would create so much drama. They would create so much chaos, because they were constantly searching for someone to fulfill what was empty inside of them. Those people were constantly going to drugs and alcohol, or trying to preach on the Bible, trying to crucify you, trying to judge you, because they were empty inside. And what happened is, if you are someone that does not recognize it at the time, like I didn't recognize it, I was very uneducated, I had a veil over my eyes. I allowed that to happen. And those people tore me down. Mentally, emotionally, sometimes it even got physical. Because those individuals were so empty that they were trying to suck anything they could from anybody to fulfill their own cup. They were so lost. They were so hurt. Those people were constantly on drugs, drinking, starting trouble, starting chaos, because they are empty. Those type of people are never going to be happy with you or happy about anything that you do, which is why it's so important that you learn to understand your self-worth, that you learn to validate yourself. I'm going to tell you a situation that happened. So I remember it was a holiday, and I had spent the whole holiday cooking. It was not my job. I had came there with the impression that I was only going to do one thing, but because this individual was very empty, very lost, bitter, hurt, unhealed, things went left. And so I was put in a situation where I was like, okay, either I can let everything fall apart, or I can try to save the situation. And that's what I did. I spent the whole day. I had to go out grocery shopping. I had to then cook the food. I had multiple houses I had to cook food for. People, and it had got so bad with that one individual that people just left, and they was like, oh, we'll come back. Because you see, healed people cannot be around unhealed people. And for me, I was just really coming into my spiritual awakening. I was really deep into understanding my self-worth and my validation. So everything I was doing that day, I was not looking for them to validate. Everything they was doing that day, I could look at them and see that they were hurt, and what was going on with them had nothing to do with me. And I did not allow that to stop me from fulfilling what I told myself I was going to do, my promise to myself. So I cooked everything. I cleaned up. I called people. They came back. They ate. We had a good time. The one person who was supposed to do all this, who had created this chaos and this havoc, came out, and guess what? Started their trouble, started their drama, started chaos. They even geared it towards me and said that, oh, you're just so lazy. You're not worth anything. I've never met such a lazy person in my life. Where's all of this? And all of this is gone. Like, they started nitpicking and complaining about everything, slamming drawers, stabbing, the knives into the counter, like literally just creating such a toxic environment. But you know what? I was proud of myself. I did not allow them telling me that I was useless, that I was lazy, that I was worthless, that the stuff that I did was not worth anything. I did not allow them to invalidate everything that I did, because guess what? I was extremely proud of myself. There was not a person in this world that could say something to me that would make me feel horrible, because you know how I looked at that situation? I learned how to cook something today. I learned how to make something out of nothing. God blessed me with the funds and the opportunity and the resources to come into a situation that has lack, that is full of chaos, that is full of drama, and turn it into something peaceful and positive, even if it's just for a couple of hours. God allowed me to have clarity so I can see that this person is hurt, this person is empty, and this person is actually just reaching out, trying to suck any souls and resources that they can to fulfill themselves. This person may even be filled with a demon, and that demon is trying to capture people. And the old me from years ago would have sat there and cried and felt useless and felt worthless. Now, was I a bit disappointed in them? Yes. But I was only going to allow that to sit in my brain for so long, because I understood it's not me. They're empty. They're hurting. They're unhealed. And if I based everything that I was doing that day off of me seeking their validation, the mere fact that all I got was negativity and judgment and resentment and bitterness would have tore me apart. And for many years, being placed in very similar situations did. Being placed in situations had me wake up not putting on my earrings, not putting on my makeup, not getting dressed, not going to the gym, not communicating with people, just shutting the world off. Because I allowed someone else's emptiness to affect me. Because I allowed someone else who was completely empty to drain me of everything good and positive and beautiful and feminine that God had given me. This is why I say you have to learn to fulfill your own cup and to validate yourself. And I have so many stories of situations where I've been around, it's not a lot of people, but people that are empty. And so I'm saying all this to say that I want you to walk through life saying, you know what, am I doing this for me? Or am I doing this for someone else's validation? Because the moment you don't get their validation, you are going to feel worthless. You are going to feel useless. And I do not want you to feel that way. That is not why God designed you. God did not design you to put your worth in another human being. Because all an empty person can do is take from you, because they are trying to fulfill their own cup. And the thing is this, what you have is meant for you. They can try to fill up their cup and do the exact same thing you do, work in the exact same business, wear their hair, date the same people, drive the same car, cook and everything the same. But guess what? Their cup will always be empty, because that's for you. That's not for them. That's not what God created them to do. They will have to go out and find themselves, heal themselves, fill their own cup. So the only thing you can do is you can realize that this person is empty, this person is hurt, and stop looking for validation in those people. And then you will be able to survive them. So what did I do in that situation, right? Well, when that individual decided to start just creating chaos, I allowed them, because number one, it's their house. They can do whatever they want. I put up the things I could. I asked them if they needed anything. And then I literally just went about my day. I did not allow them to soak up all my energy. I did not allow my pendulum to swing into their negative energy and become a negative person, because they were doing everything. They started messing with the food. They started, when they realized they couldn't get to me, they started trying to go through another person and talk about me and talk about other people and stuff like that. And see, this is what happens, because just like negativity attracts other negativity, positivity attracts positivity. Because of the way I was reacting, because they did not see me, being tore down, because they did not see me being affected by it, the other people around started looking at that person like they were crazy. Like, oh wow, this girl just spent all day cooking and cleaning and cleaning up your mess, making something out of nothing from what you created, and all you want to do is tear her down, is belittle her, is degrade her, is try to destroy what she did. And what ended up happening with that person was, eventually, it didn't happen that day, but eventually the people that were there and the people around them started calling them out and saying, we saw what you did. We know who you are. We don't want to come around you because you are unappreciative. We don't want to come around you because we don't want to soak up that negativity. And you see, an empty person is always going to try to blame a positive person. An empty person is always going to try to blame you for the reason why nobody else, for the reason for their downfall. And the thing is this: if you learn validation, if you learn self-worth, you won't believe anything they say. They can literally say, you are the reason why I don't have friends. You are the reason why I don't have a career. You are the reason why my life is like this. But you will be able to see, no, you are the reason. Because see, you have given yourself so many excuses instead of taking action. Because see, you allowed yourself to soak in a miserable place, because the opportunities you had to heal, to become a better person, you did not take them. So now you are envious and you are jealous of everybody that is moving on with their life, everybody that is living in positivity, everybody that is living in abundance. And you are trying to soak up everything from everybody. But the thing is this: if it is not meant for you, I don't care how many times you try to morph yourself into them, it's not going to work. That's why I'm going to say it again. If you are in a situation where you are around someone that has an empty cup, they will never be able to fulfill that cup for you. They are incapable, because they are hurting. And honestly, this is my opinion, it's not your responsibility to try to fix them. I used to believe that it was. I used to believe that, I could fix people. And there are certain situations where God literally places you in environments to help them. But you see, people have to want to help themselves. And all you can do is try to be a demonstration through your actions. And that is what I've learned helps a lot of people. When they see me getting up every day, putting on my makeup, making certain choices, moving certain ways, they'll say, okay, I see she might not be a millionaire, but she's happy. Her cup is always filled. There's constantly opportunities coming her way. She is the opposite of this other person. Okay, what is she doing? And you see, they will want to be around you even more, but they will be around you because they literally they want you to teach them. And that is your opportunity to help someone become a better person. But do you see how they had to start fulfilling their own cup? Do you see how they had to recognize, analyze the situation and say, okay, I need to be over here in this positive space. I need to be around this person. That is what I mean. If a person is not reaching out, trying to help themselves and strategically taking the steps to do that, then if I was you, I would just be like, no, you have to do it yourself. Some people have to literally fall on their heads to learn a lesson. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and tell you that. And that if you are in a situation like that, please do not take the things they say and allow them to walk with you throughout the day. Because you are not the negative words that an empty person speaks of you. And do things because you want to do them. I was happy to cook that day. I was happy to clean that day. I was great that people loved my food. I looked at that whole situation in such a positive light. I could have looked at it differently, but what would be the purpose of that? And because of that, so many other great things came out of it. And I wasn't looking for it because, again, my whole purpose for doing anything that I do, especially that day, was just to make me happy, just to fulfill my cup. And the thing is this, did that person want me to do it, right? They had no problem with me doing it. That's the whole thing. You know, when I say an empty person is very unbalanced, yeah, sometimes they'll be mad 1 second, the next time they'll be happy, tomorrow they'll hate you, the day after that they'll love you. So it's like I could recognize what was going on, and I realized, okay, I'm going to take an opportunity if they allow me to, which is a great way of them taking actions. But I'm going to take this opportunity and I'm going to try to still make the most out of this moment, the most out of this day, the most out of this holiday. And that's exactly what I did. And I learned some brilliant, wonderful lessons. And I went home very happy, very fulfilled, and wasn't thinking about nothing else. So yeah, with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one.